Hi guys, hi there, how are all of you? I hope you all are fine. Well, my name is Yusuf and I'm back on Yusuf Reacts. Well guys, today I'm back again with a very interesting movie review that is there for you people. If I talk about it, what is the particular film or the movie that I'm going to be discussing today? Today the movie that is going to be definitely Maybe. Now, if you have a look at the title of this particular movie, there are going to be a lot of questions that are going on in your mind. Definitely and maybe. Well, basically, if we have a look at it, this movie is having an element of definitely at one particular time, maybe at the other way around. Now, over here, this movie starts off with Reynolds being the lead actor in this particular movie. If we see this particular thing up, that he's someone who is working at a particular place that he does not enjoy, and he at the same time receives a letter. If we talk about that particular letter, that letter shows the letter of divorce that has been filed against him by his wife. Now he's someone who is, who has a look at it and then puts it back into the envelope, and then eventually he is extremely excited because of the fact it's the weekdays and he gets an opportunity to catch up with his daughter, and he eventually just sets out and picks her up. On the way, when he reaches the school, he realizes that today they have been taught, or his daughter has been taught about sex education. So that is something that she has so many questions going on and on and on and on. And eventually she comes to the main topic that is there, that like if he did not wanted her, why did he even have her? That his parents are getting divorced. Then he tells her a story of him. And in that particular story, he makes her familiar with all the particular ladies that were there in his life and who was his particular mom. He says this thing up that he's going to change the name of every other lady that was there. He talks about his love, the first one, that's known as Emily. Now, Emily was that particular lady that he eventually went to school with, but he was someone who was really ambitious. He was, an individual who moved to New York because of the fact that he was a supporter of Bill Clinton, and he was the one who eventually was really good, and he did the campaigns for Bill Clinton and so on like that. So he comes over there, and then eventually after some time he realizes that that was the thing. But on his way, a diary is given to him. That diary is given to him by Emily to hand it over to a particular girl known as Summer, who was her roommate at one particular time. Summer is being played by Rachel. Now Summer was that particular individual whom he really liked, he really fancied, and eventually as the story progresses, so we'll come on to that, but this is how the thing happened. And he came to New York. In New York he came across a particular girl known as April. Now April was that particular individual or that lady who was totally the opposite of what he was. She was never composed, she had so many ambitions in life, but there was one thing that she always had. There was a novel by Jane Eyre, and his father had gifted her that particular novel with a special note written on it for April. And April wanted something else. She wanted some kinds of earrings, and her father eventually gifted her that. She really got offended, and because of that particular reason, the novel eventually got misplaced, and she had been searching from that novel since then. And because she wanted that note, because of the fact that after that gift that she got, they were like hardly 2 weeks and her father passed away. So that novel really meant a lot to her. Anyhow, so this was how the things eventually were going on. Then eventually we come across this thing up that he with time he realizes that Emily is someone who comes over, and Emily tells him about this particular thing, that she has slept with his roommate. So the list that is going on, in that particular list, his daughter then cuts the name of Emily, and she realizes that Emily was not the girl. The name of his daughter is Maya. Then eventually he talks about his relationship with Summer. The relationship is really good. Summer is a very nice girl. She also loves him too much. He also loves him too much. Summer actually exposes one particular individual from the party, and because of the fact that he had brought her along, so that is what the whole thing was. And this is something that has or ends the result in him losing his job, their breakup, and so on. So he loses Summer also at the same time. Then eventually life goes on. He becomes in a very miserable phase. He eventually plans to propose Emily when he gets the shock. He plans to propose Summer when he gets the shock. Then April is the one that is always there all around. Eventually, with time passes, he tells April about himself, and April now has moved on, and she has a particular guy in her life known as Kevin. And now this is the whole thing that is eventually going along. Ryan Reynolds, on the other hand, is the one who always suffers and has never found true love. And April was the girl that was his true love from the start, but he just couldn't confess it. He finds the book one day, and eventually when he finds that particular book up, he eventually wants to give it to her. He goes to her home, and there he sees Kevin, and what happens to him, he just is not, because April is not there at that particular house, so he takes that book with him and just goes away instead of giving it to April. Eventually, after a long time, he gets a chance to get to April, and he hands over that book to April. And then while he hands over the book to April, he tells her that he had this book for a while. She said, and April then asks him how much time. He says years. Then April literally gets so offended and she asks him to leave. Now Ryan is someone who again gets left alone. Now over here we come to the end of it, that over here the thing which comes across is this, that Maya realizes that there is an action that Emily always does, and that's touching her hair like this. And that same action is what Ryan was telling his daughter Maya. So she comes to know that her mother is Emily. But the main thing was this, that Emily is not the one that Ryan loves. It's who? April. So she forces him up and she says that we need to go. And he signs the divorce papers, and then he gets to meet his daughter again. They both plan to go to downtown, and they eventually go to the house of April. They give a bell, and April does not open the door, and then they count till 30, and it's a very cute scene. They count till 30 that she will open, but she doesn't. When they're on their way back, April comes out, and April says she has only one question: why didn't he give her the book? So he simply says one thing this time. He tells her that that was the only thing that he had left of her. Now this is what the whole movie was like. A bit, I would say a bit different from the usual romantic movies that are there, but a lot of twists and a lot of things that were there. Very nice movie, very engaging, I would say, at the end of it also. So if you have not gone through this movie, I'd prefer that you guys do so. This is me, Yusuf, saying goodbye to you people. I hope you guys like the review up. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I want you guys to do so. Thank you very much for your time, guys. Take care. Bye.